How's it going, everyone? My name is Prestige. Welcome back to Behind the Key. This is a series in which we go behind the scenes on my main channel. I talk about issues and stuff that constantly pop up in the comment section or in my personal messages, and I kind of address that here. It gives you a little bit of insight on what a bigger YouTuber deals with on a daily basis, as well as a little bit of insight of what you can expect once your channel starts to grow to the size that mine is as well. Just to give you a little heads up on what you can expect to see along the way. No matter how original you are, there's always somebody ready to say that you've copied somebody, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here in this episode today. If you missed the previous episodes, I have a playlist linked down below in the description, and you can check it all out down there. Now, no matter how big your YouTube channel is, no matter how small your YouTube channel is, if you've uploaded a video, you've probably been accused of copying somebody or stealing somebody's content or taking somebody's idea and trying to make it your own. Now, this has more or less been popping up more and more recently with the high abundance of reaction channels that have come out. And just to give you an example of true stealing and true content copying, let's just bring up Leafy is Here, for example. This dude came out of nowhere, made hilarious reaction videos while he did some CSGO surfing. He blew up from like 200,000 subscribers to 1.3 million in the matter of a month or two, and just the amount of growth that he saw was ridiculous. Now, everybody's seeing this happen, so now we're gonna have a new batch of YouTubers trying to do the same exact thing to steal his thunder, and it's almost like watching a carbon copy of what Leafy is, except 10 times worse because they're not doing it the same way that he is, but they're trying to do it the same way he is. So that to me is more or less copying, and that's copying to the fullest, just trying to do exactly what somebody else does, the same exact format, even in some cases the same exact commentary style, where they'll sometimes yell, they'll sometimes do something similar to Leafy or whatever. That is just straight up copying. That is that. On the other side of the coin, you have taking inspiration. You have somebody that maybe you really look up to, like maybe you look up to Leafy and you want to do content like him, but you don't want to do it exactly like him. And you could still do that by taking inspiration, but putting it into your own format, making your own style. And we've seen this happen with multiple other YouTube channels, and they've been very successful from it as well. But it does come down to, regardless of how you do it and how well you do it, and regardless of how much you change it, there's always going to be that one commenter or multiple commenters, depending on how big your YouTube channel is, that will still accuse you of stealing somebody's content, that will still accuse you of copying somebody else, of being a clone of somebody else, and that kind of is heartbreaking and saddening. I guess the one person that I would always be accused of copying from is Merc Music. And the funny thing behind this is I never knew about Merc Music until people actually were telling me that I was copying him. So I actually looked up his channel, and surprisingly, we weren't doing the same thing at all. We weren't. Actually, I started doing the 5 Things series on my main channel, and that was, you know, a really fun series to create. And then I went and noticed that Merc Music started to do a Mythbusters series, which was something that I was originally going to do. I actually opted out of doing the Mythbusters series because I didn't want people to think I was copying him. And that was just a choice that I decided to make. Now, the funny thing about it all was I started to upload the 5 Things series before Merc Music even decided to do the Mythbusters series. So people were comparing the two and just kind of like throwing it out there. And I don't know, they didn't really do their research too much, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, no matter how much you try to make it original and unique to your channel, there's still going to be somebody that sits there and accuses you of stealing content, copying somebody, and doing that. But then on the other side of the coin, you have your own subscribers who are going to alert you when somebody might be taking your own content. So for example, more recently, there's been a community channel that's been uploading a 5 Things You Probably Didn't Know series as well. And this thing's been going on for about a week after I started my series. So as soon as I started mine, then all of a sudden this one came out of nowhere. And it wasn't really a big deal. I went and checked it out. I saw it, you know, I was a little like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. This channel's got a lot more subscribers than me. You know, it's probably going to be seen. But I wasn't really mad about it because I was focused on what I was doing and it wasn't a big deal. However, this started to catch more and more attention from my subscribers, and they started to see that this person kept uploading the series almost immediately after I uploaded my episodes, and it had similar content from my episodes, so they thought maybe they were stealing the ideas from my episodes to put them in their own. It wasn't a big deal. It really wasn't. That's why I just kind of ignored it. I just forgot about it. But the subscribers kept coming and telling me that. And then I started to get more subscribers from the channel in question because they thought that I was the one that uploaded the series on the community channel because there was so many similarities between the thumbnail and just the style overall. Granted, this is a UK-based channel, but regardless of what it is, I wasn't mad. I still am not mad. It is what it is, and I think that even if he took the idea from my series to make his own, I'm kind of more flattered than mad. Like, I'm honestly flattered that I could have someone feel creative enough to make their own type of series based on it. However, the other thing that's kind of bugging me is the community aspect to that channel, where it's basically like they aren't the ones to create the content. They have these directors that come and create the content, and they are the people that make the channel what it is, and that's just an unfortunate thing. And I'll be talking about community channels in another episode of Behind the Key because I have my own story to tell in regards to that, and I think that a lot of people will enjoy that because as enticing as the community channels seem, they don't really help you grow as much as you would imagine. So we'll talk about that in a future Behind the Key episode. But as for copying, as for content, it's better to take inspiration than literally take the idea overall. Have that inspiration, create your own series off of that inspiration, and make it your own, and everything will be alright. Everything will be fine. Sure, you might have one or two people saying, wow, you copied so-and-so, or wow, this is definitely a stolen idea. When things like that happen, maybe then you have to think to yourself, okay, it's time to change what I'm doing. And just an example of that from my personal channel for the 5 Things series, the very first and second episode, I had people saying, oh, you know, this is too similar to so-and-so, so I decided to start doing cringy intros, and that's what made my series different from everybody else's, because when they came back to view the next episode, there was a super cringy intro, and that's just what it was. Like, that is what made that series unique, is because I changed the way it was done, and I put my own little spin on it, and I put my own little flair on it. But for people out there that are just straight up copying somebody, carbon copying characteristics, personality, everything of the sort, you gotta find something new. You have to do something new, because if you're trying to carbon copy somebody just for pure growth, just for subscribers, that's not going to happen, and you're going to cause yourself more harm that way than do yourself good when you do that, because you are not your own person at that point. You are trying to be somebody else, and that is not what you want to be. So try to be yourself, as hard as that is and as difficult that is, because there's so many YouTubers nowadays. You just got to find your own little goal. You got to find your own little, you know, your little feel on how you want to do things. But anyway, guys, that is the video for today. If you want to stop by again, because next time we're going to be talking about community channels, I think that it's a big thing for people out there. I have my own stories that I want to tell. Make sure to click that subscribe button. And also, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to click the like button down below. If you guys want to see some more videos, head on over to the channel page where you can check out some Hitman, Plants vs. Zombies, or if you want to watch more Battlefield, check out another Behind the Key. Until next time, guys, I will see ya. Peace.